Everything up to now in Module 2 use the standard hosted MCP server surface exactly as Salesforce gives it to you. This episode is different on purpose. Here we are going one layer deeper and extending the cloud with one custom business action that our org already knows how to do. Request a discount approval on an opportunity. The key point is we are not teaching Claude to freestyle an approval workflow by stitching together raw record updates. We already have the approval automation in Salesforce. We are just exposing that automation as one safe name tool. In the standard hosted setup, Claude could absolutely update a status field, create a task, and maybe leave a note. But that is not the same thing as governed approval action. Approval requests are exactly the kind of business verbs that should exist as one intentional operation, not as three or four ad hoc rights. So this episode shows the upgrade path. When the standard hosted tools are too low level, wrap the business workflow behind a custom MCP tool instead of giving Claude broader CRUD and hoping the prompt stays perfect. So I'm in Salesforce. If I go to MCP servers, this S objects all is a standard hosted MCP server. And if you look into the tools, it does not have an ability to approve or to submit a record for an approval process. So instead of that, we created an MCP server by clicking Add MCP server. We named it as Custom MCP. In this, in the tools, we added the approval. So this is the flow that we added. Let's go back to presentation. In this course project, the approval automation already exists as an auto launch flow. So let's look into that flow also. It takes two input, opportunity ID and the discount percentage. I look over here. These are the two variables that has been defined as an input. Inside the flow, it updates the opportunity with the request discount details and then calls Salesforce native submit for approval action. The actual process is behind opportunity.discount approval, which routes qualifying requests to the opportunity owner manager through the user hierarchy and use standard approval action to manage the record status. That is perfect for this lesson because we are not inventing new business logic just to make MCP look clever. We are reusing real Salesforce automation that a team would already trust. So if I go and look into the approval process, this is the approval process that I have on the opportunity. And this approval process entry criteria is more than 12%. Think of the custom MCP server as an adapter, not a second business brain. The business logic stays in Salesforce automation. The server's only job is to expose a clean MCP tool contract that Claude.ai can call safely. One name tool in, one governed workflow out. That separation is the whole design principle. The tool tells Claude that action exists while Flow or Apex decide how the action is actually carried out. The tool that we have exposed is request discount approval. Description is narrow on purpose. Submit an opportunity discount request into Northwind existing approval workflow. The input are also deliberately simple, an opportunity ref, which can be an exact opportunity ID or an opportunity name and a discount percentage. If your org approval path already lives in Apex rather than Flow, the contract can stay exactly the same. In this org, the backing automation is the flow, so that this is what we call. This is the only custom implementation layer that really mattered. A small Apex wrapper validates the input, resolves the opportunity from either ID or exact name, rejects ambiguous matches, and then launches the existing flow with opportunity ID and discount percentage. This is important because the wrapper does not duplicate the business logic, it delegates to the automation Salesforce already owns. The custom MCP server is only the bridge between Claude.ai and that pre-existing workflow. Notice what Claude does not get here. It does not get a generic change any approval status tool. It does not get a generic create any manager task tool. It gets one business verb, request a discount approval. That constraints matter. Narrow tools are easier to review, easier to describe, easier to test, and much harder for a vague prompt to misuse. This is the core design lessons of the entire episode. Let's look into the Claude also. If I look into customize, then connector, I've got this connector by name custom Salesforce. This is that link for custom Salesforce connector. And this particular link, what you see over here, is same. Let me show it to you. MCP server. Same as this particular server URL. So using this server URL and the secret key, we are able to connect the custom MCP server with Claude.ai. So this is what it has been connected. Now, in Claude, we are going to say request a 12% discount approval from Brightpeak rooftop array. And then let's send it and let's see what happens. So over here, we will say yes, allow. Let's say this one worked. The flow completed successfully this time. So now let's go back to that opportunity and refresh it. So over here, you will see that there is a manager discount approval. And now the manager has to approve it. So this way, using Claude, we have successfully submitted an opportunity for approval. Let's go back to presentation. This is what I just showed you, that how we have to connect the custom MCP server in the Claude. This was the prompt. Then the tool was called, and this is where the Claude was able to approve the opportunity. The important thing to emphasize here is the division of labor. Claude did not invent approvals, route logic, or status handling. Salesforce's own approval engine did that. Claude just invoked a well-defined business action. I just showed you that the opportunity, I opened the opportunity and you would have seen there is an approval as of now for that particular opportunity which has been created. This is the pattern to copy in real log. Keep the business logic in Salesforce, Flow, Apex, a native work approval process, whatever your team already use. Put a thin, well-described MCP wrapper in front of it. Expose only the business action humans would naturally ask for. Claude should call verbs, while Salesforce owns routing, audit trail, and the final record state. So now, in the next module, we leave the business user seat and move into the Claude code where the MCP story changes completely because we shift into the local Salesforce DX MCP server and real metadata work from the terminal.